What's up, fellas? So in this video, I'm going to break down 7 specific things that alpha male strategies AMS is wrong about. Now, this video came about because a lot of guys in the forums always ask me, oh, what do you think about this one thing that AMS says? Now, generally speaking, I think quite favorably about AMS. He doesn't seem like one of the scammers. He seems like a legit guy with good intentions. However, there's a good amount of things that he teaches that are just technically suboptimal from a game perspective, and some of them which are extremely suboptimal. So in this video, we're going to pick 7 of the worst offenders, break down what exactly he's saying that you should do and why it's wrong. Right, so we pulled 7 clips from AMS's channel. We're going to play them and then break them down afterwards and go over why this is simply bad game. So let's start with this one.
The first problem is right off the bat, you don't text for the initial conversation. You call. That's always, all right.
Right.
So that's the first thing. You trying to set something up with the initial through a text. Always call.
Yeah, so basically he's saying is that if you're trying to set up a date, it has to be on the phone. You cannot set up a date over text. This may have been applicable dating advice 20 years ago, but it's no longer the case. Most chicks, they don't even know that you can use their phone for talking, especially the, Generation Z or whatever the fuck you call them, right? So if you're only going to be setting up dates with your phone calls, you're going to be leaving a lot of girls out. I know a lot of chicks who simply just don't feel comfortable talking on the phone. So what, you're going to put them in a situation where they either have to talk to you on the phone or ghost on you? Well, quite often they're going to pick the path of least resistance and not going to show up. So this is just a very limiting mindset that you can't set up dates over text. No, I mean, you can see I have dozens and dozens, hundreds of examples of me doing just that. Now, are phone calls good? Yeah, sure. I worked in phone sales. Like, no one wants to talk on the phone more than I do because for me, it's really easy to set something up on the phone. However, you can also do it over text. And again, pushing for the phone call is going to be suboptimal in a lot of situations. I think also he advocates just calling the girl out of the blue, right? If you are going to set up a phone call, it should be very strategic. You should kind of be like, hey, listen, let's chat on the phone for a minute or two. You want to give her that false time constraint, and then, you kind of want to do it that way rather than just calling the chick up. So this is, really off. He's just basically, this is off from a game perspective because he's just limiting himself to such a high degree. Like, older women are going to be cool with that because a lot of them are used to talking on the phone, but younger 18-year-old chicks, to them it's going to be a foreign concept. Like, why is this guy insisting that we talk on the phone? I'm just going to go with the other guy who is being cool and is letting me set things up over text. All right, let's go to the next one.
Residual pussy is when you put the work in and you get your shit together and the pussy just comes to you. That 9 to 5 pussy is when you ain't got your shit together and you got to constantly fight and hustle to get some ass all the time. I get residual pussy. That means that by me getting my shit together, pussy just comes. It's just.
So this is a popular concept in the red pill community, is that once as a man, you get your shit together, girls just come to you. This is pure fucking horseshit. It's not like women have like an update they get on their phone, like on their iPhone, like, yo, this guy down the street 2.5 miles from you just got his shit together. You should go over there and bang him. Like, a woman has no idea, if you're not putting yourself out there, she has no idea how much of your shit you have together. Furthermore, there's a lot of guys get laid who don't have their shit together at all, simply because they have high value traits, like maybe they're good looking, or maybe they're really confident, or whatever. Maybe they work in some industry that the woman wants to get in it. So yes, you should absolutely get your shit together, but just getting your shit together is not going to get you laid. Now, is it going to be helpful? Yeah, probably. You're probably going to feel a lot more comfortable about confident about yourself. You're probably going to have, like, if you don't have shit to worry about, you're just going to be more carefree. Yes, but it's indirect. It's not just by getting your shit together, girls just show up in your life. So this is not just limited to AMS. I've heard a bunch of other red pillars make this argument over and over again. But again, it's not based on any facts. The only people who have girls coming to them just by doing nothing are celebrities. So if you're famous, yes, girls will come to you. You don't have to do shit. But aside from being a celebrity, which is not practicable for 99.9% of people watching this video, just getting your shit together is not going to get you laid. Sorry.
Today I want to talk about confirming dates. Now, we all know that confirming for dates could be one of the most insecure things you can do. And it's not a sign.
It's definitely not one of the most insecure things you can do. Confirming a date, most insecure thing you could do. No.
A very good confidence. You're essentially saying, I've been flaked on a lot. So let me confirm with you to make sure you're not.
No, you're not. It's basically common sense. Like, I think this is something that the red pillars often miss, is an element of common sense. Let's say you and your buddy made plans a few days, ahead of time, right? You text the day of your day, be like, yo, dude, you're still good for 8 o'clock. That doesn't show your buddy that you think that he's going to flake on you. It shows that basically that's how communication works. You usually confirm. In sales, which I did for 3 years, that was very popular. You didn't just show up at a client's house hoping that they were there, because quite often they would forget and they were not. Also, here's what happens when you don't confirm. A lot of chicks, they will preemptively flake on you because they think, oh, this guy has lost interest. I don't want him to flake on me. I don't want to feel like, I'm the one that's getting flaked on. So I'm going to make other plans to protect myself, right? So this will happen if you don't confirm dates, or girls will forget. So not confirming dates is extremely suboptimal. Like, just showing up on the date and hoping the girl will be there is very suboptimal. Now, later on in the video, what AMS talks about is his strategy is basically he'll when he makes plans with a girl on the phone, because he doesn't do texting, he will say, I'll send you the location and day of the date. And then he sends her. So that's like his way of confirming, which is actually pretty decent. Like, I would not say that's a bad game. That's fine, right? But it's still a form of confirmation. But just saying something like, hey, still good for tonight, that's not low value, doesn't suggest to the girl you have been flaked on. That's basically what you do when you make plans with anyone, not even a girl. So again, he's pretty wrong about this. Let's move on to the next one.
So never double text a bitch, right? Like,
never.
She just never responds.
Never.
Delete her out your phone.
The only time you double text a
Like,
bitch,
delete that bitch, right?
the only time you double text a bitch, man, if somebody done shot you and you need that bitch to come help you.
Yeah, so I hear this often in the red pill community, is that you can never double text. It's so needy. Girls lose respect for you. No. Like, this is also bad advice. Yes, you should not, if a girl, like, for example, it's been an hour, you should not start double texting her. Yeah, it can be needy. However, if a day or two has gone by, then as long as the text itself is not needy, it's fine. You can see my examples, many LRs I've posted where I had to double and triple text to re-engage the girl. If you watch the video breakdown that we did with the old lady, apparently, you can see that she says that one of the things she really liked about Indian P is how persistent he was, right? He was persistent. He kept going for it and going. Women like persistence, right? So double texting, if you do it correctly, which, we've had many videos on this, shows persistence. It's not something that you can never, ever do. This is, just, again, really bad piece of advice, and you're basically leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. Like, I can tell you with my third girlfriend that I ever had in my life, the Venezuelan chick, I don't know, she was in one of my videos. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was before I started the YouTube channel. It was on the Facebook. But with her, I had to double text her several times to get her out initially, right? She just simply was a hot chick who had a lot going on, and she didn't really value me yet because we never met. After we started getting together, I never had to really double text her again, because at that point she was invested. But initially, I had to be persistent and pursue her a little bit. Doesn't make me needy, doesn't make me lower value. That makes me practical. So yeah, this is pretty off.
So on the day of the date, another test. She might try to change the time of the date. Guys, this is a test. Understand, you're a high-value man. You ain't waiting around for nobody. Understand that?
You don't have to wait around for anybody. You can just fucking do shit. Like at PWF, we say, invite girls straight to your place. You're not waiting around. You're fucking doing whatever the fuck you were doing before that.
So she might try to change the time of the date. No, we ain't gonna change the time. You either gonna make that time, or we're gonna have to do it some other time. Understand that. Guys.
Hey, AMS, do you mind if I do, instead of 8 o'clock, we do 8:05? Nah, fuck you, bitch. We're done.
If you set the date for 7 o'clock, and now she's calling like, hey, can we do it for 8? And a lot of you guys, you done seen this from women. High value males don't do that. High value males like, oh shit, well, if you running behind, you can't make, let's just try some other time. Now,
yeah, so this might be one of the worst pieces of advice so far. So a girl needs to move the date by half an hour to an hour, and you say, no, well, if you can't make it at that time, we're gonna have to do another night. Like, what? Like, again, this completely lacks common sense. Let's say you have plans with one of your buddies, and he texts you like, yo, man, I'm running a little bit late with work. Do you mind if we do 8 instead of 7? Sorry, bro, if you can't make it by 7, we're going to hang out another night. Like, what the fuck? Like, this just doesn't even make any sense from a practical perspective at all. So if a girl needs to, move the time a little bit, it's not a shit test. She simply had shit. I do this all the time when I make plans with people. And girls, like quite often I need to push it back. Like, hey, do you mind if we do 30 minutes later? Now, if a girl texts you like, fucking 2 minutes before the start of the date, yeah, that does show a little disrespect. But if she texts you earlier in the day, hey, I had something with work, and do you mind if we do a little bit later? That's totally fine. She's not questioning your manhood. It's not a shit test. It's not any kind of a test. It's simply human nature. Like, people often have to push things back. And if you are so rigid that it's either you have to make it exactly on the time that we said, or we have to do another night, like, again, it's just horrible advice.
Video, I want to talk about first date kiss. Guys, never go for a first date kiss. Never.
So I'm actually quite surprised that he says that, because I would think that, with his strategy that he would always, go for the lay the same day, because you can't really get the lay if you don't go for the kiss, unless he's running some kind of crazy red pill game that I'm not familiar with. But anyway, so, this is really, really bad advice. You should always go for the kiss on the first date. Always, because if you don't go for the kiss, the girl thinks you're either not interested, you're a pussy, or you're gay, right? Like, she's not gonna, it takes balls to go for the kiss. It takes balls to escalate. If you don't do that, the woman quite often is going to friend zone you and lose respect. So this is basically the opposite of what you should be doing on dates. Now, the argument he makes is that there's some, coaches telling women that you should not kiss a guy on the first date. That's true. That does exist. And that, women are aware of this. And then if you don't kiss her, you increase the chances of, not like, because if you kiss her and she rejects you, then it's like you're needy and you lose value. No, like, you kiss a girl and she gives you the cheek. As long as you don't get butthurt afterwards, you actually have more value than if you didn't go for it at all. So it's always better to go for it and get rejected than not go for it at all. So this is just really, really off from a game perspective. And then last up.
When a woman flake on you guys, accept this for what it is. Her ass got a better option than you. Some came up better than you. That's what happened. But listen.
So that could be the case. So yeah, probably 20, 30, 40% of the time, yeah, she did have a better option. However, the majority of the time, she either has some unanswered concern or objection. She legitimately couldn't make it for whatever reason that she says she can't make it. Or, she just got nervous. She got cold feet at the last minute. That's what it's going to be the majority of the time. Now, if it's the first or the third, then you can usually, address it through good text game. Like, you'd be like, hey, like, what's on your mind? Like, why are you hesitant? At that point, you can get her on the phone, talk it out, see what her reason is, why she's nervous. Maybe she thinks you're just after sex. Maybe, she's worried that, you have expectations. Like, could be any number of things, right? And you can usually address these. So I have other video content on this. But just to assume that when a girl flakes on you, it's because she went with a better option is, first of all, I don't even think that's a healthy mindset, but it's not even practical, because that's not what it is. Like, this is just technically not the truth.
I don't want you just charging to the game. Guys, if y'all guys are getting a lot of flakes, what I want you to do is maybe take a little break from women and get your shit together.
Again, so this kind of goes back to the whole red pill mindset that if you just get your shit together, your problems become solved. No, like, first of all, I don't care how high value you are, how much of your shit you have together, you will always get flaked on. Like, I would consider myself quite advanced. I still get flaked on. My buddy John Anthony, he's been with thousands of girls, also gets flaked on. It happens to everybody. So you're not going to just avoid flaking by getting your shit together. Also, you're probably not even going to significantly minimize your flake rate. Now, the argument he makes later on is that once you improve your sexual market value, that the flaking problem starts to take care of itself. To a small extent, yes, once you raise your sexual market value, you will get less flakes, you will have more options. However, it's not the end-all, be-all solution. And again, just by, like, if you're getting flaked, take time off from the game. No, just talk to more girls and come up with a better strategy. Maybe screen them a little bit more, maybe build some more investment, maybe confirm better, but don't just take time off from the game expecting the problem will solve itself when you get your shit together. All right, hopefully you guys found this breakdown valuable. Now again, the point of this video is not to shit on the AMS. As I mentioned in the beginning, I think he has good intentions. There's quite a few things that he says, which I agree with him on. However, I think it's important to be able to point out bad ideas, so we cherry-picked 7 of the worst ones. Now AMS, if you're watching this, and you feel like I was off about anything, I highly encourage you to come on a live stream. The invitation's always open, man. I'd love to be able to hash this out, and you can point out why maybe what I said was wrong. I think it would be a very interesting discussion that the community would benefit from. All right, guys, show us some love by smashing the like button, hitting subscribe, and clicking the bell for notification. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see more videos like this and if there's anything I missed or any other ideas that you want me to honestly critique. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.